As you go through this chapter, keep on assessing yourself. Are you really performing the actions the way it is supposed to be? Forget about those who are stuck in many other worldly pursuits. They have various reasons, their motivations are different, their intentions are different. The outcomes are different accordingly. But we who have been given an opportunity to perform selfless actions over here, are we doing it correctly or not? Or are we wasting an opportunity, something that you must all through assess for yourself? Don't assess the next person, assess yourself. Don't try to see whether others are doing the action properly. Find out whether you are doing everything right, having got this wonderful opportunity. So if you go from that point of view, you look at the last chapter, Moksha Sannyasa Yoga, that yoga of sannyasa, which will take us to moksha. So moksha is also there, sannyasa is there, yoga is also there. Yoga only is moksha. Only a sannyasi can be yogi, truly. So it's all complementing each other, moksha, sannyasa, yoga. But being the fulcrum, being the kalasha, as it is said, of the temple of Bhagavad Gita, this is a very apt title, because this finally says that all this we have said and read and understood, it's only to this one end, which is to attain that moksha. Moksha is moha kshaya. Started with moha. Remember Arjuna Vishada Yoga? It was moha. At the end, Arjuna will say, Nashto moha smritir labdha. My moha has been destroyed. The moha has destroyed, moha kshaya has happened. It means moksha has happened. So Arjuna has attained that state of moksha. His moha has been destroyed. This is what he says at the end of this chapter. So this chapter is very beautiful, as again very detailed. You might feel a little overwhelmed with the details, but take it slowly, one step at a time. Arjuna Uvacha, Arjuna says, Sannyasasya mahabaho tattvam ichchami veditum tyagasya cha hrishikesha prathek keshini shudana. I want to understand these two things, O Lord Krishna. Now I understood the whole of Bhagavad Gita. I understood how many good and bad qualities are me, what am I to attain, how to overcome all these things. All this I have understood. Now I have heard that I have to give up the fruits of actions and I have to establish myself in that ultimate supreme principle by completely detaching myself from all other things. I understood that. So, basis which he is asking, I want to really understand now what is sannyasa and what is tyaga. See, we expect tyaga means giving up certain things, and sannyasi also we think it is giving up things only. A sannyasi gives up all the worldly things, actions, and that's why it's sannyasi. But worldly people can also do tyaga, right? But do they become sannyasi by doing that tyaga? Arjuna has that question. Do I need to be necessarily a sannyasi only to perform all the tyaga? Or when I perform the tyaga, do I become a sannyasi on my own? What is the relation? How do I understand sannyasi and tyaga? And sometime back, and this is a quite often repeated quote, that tyagajivis will come. But when the university was established, I said, not tyagajivis anymore. Yogajivis have to come now. Tyagajivi is over. Narayan, but in his time, could only think that tyagajivis are required to save the world. But I firmly believe yogajivis are required to save the world. Tyagajivis can sacrifice their time, energy, money, efforts, or life for the sake of others. But unless that tyaga is established in yoga, not doing as a favor, not doing as a charity, not doing as a sense of doership of sacrifice, but doing it as a part of their nature, to give away, to serve, to sacrifice the nature. There is no thinking, oh, I am becoming a tyagajivi, I am going to sacrifice. Such ideas should not exist in us. We should simply do things because that is what we are meant to do. We should transform ourselves in such a way. So, gone are the times of creating tyagajivis. Our university is here to create yogajivis. Because tyagajivis give more and take less, but yogajivis only give, they do not take anything. Whatever comes their way, they are satisfied and happy with it. You understand the difference between the two? So this is the difference between the sannyasi and the tyagi. Tyagi gives up fruits of actions. Sannyasi does not even think he is acting and giving up things. For him, from the day one, he is a yogi, he is established in that idea that I am divine and everything is done through me as my nature. And if my nature is sattvic, pure, naturally all sattvic things will be done through me. Without any expectations I will be performing, or duties will be performed by me or through me, not even by me, through me, and world welfare will happen. See, that is the very big difference between the mission then and mission now. And therefore you must keep that in mind. Only spiritually enlightened beings are needed here, not selfless and sacrificing beings. Selfless sacrifice is a quality of spiritually enlightened person by nature. But all sacrificing people may not be spiritually enlightened. They may be on their way. So you are on your way. Salokyam, Sarupyam, Samipyam, Sayujyam. So I need Sayujyam people. But of course it takes time, so you're on your way. It's a good news that you're on the right path. Someday you will reach, as long as you keep walking and do not take a U-turn or jump out. Yesterday somebody came and told, Swami, please accept, after listening to the discourse, I said, once I accept you and take care of you, I promise you that I will take care of you. I will not let go of you. He said, Swami, please make sure that we are also in your boat that you're taking us across. I told, you're already in the boat. Just don't jump out of the boat when the boat rocks. That's all you ensure. Hold on tight, because boat is on the sea and storms will come. No, the sea will go, the waves will throw the boat up and down. And when the boat is rocking, don't give up. Hold on, because somehow you have managed to get inside the boat. Bhavasagara, we are crossing slowly. I'm rowing you across. But when there are ups and downs in this journey, don't you give up your pursuit. Don't you get afraid or fall out for the lack of convictions. Hold on to it. That is your job now. Nothing more you need to do. Now you have got into the boat. That is the best thing that has happened to you. The only thing, ensure don't get out of it. No? You want to reach a certain place. All you have to do is get into the train or right bus. It will take you to your destination. If you get out of the train or a bus on the way at some destination which is in between, then there is no hope for you. What is the fault of the train or the driver of the train? Not at all. So likewise I was telling them, so sannyasa and yoga are the things that I am asking for. Tyaga is the stepping stone to sannyasa yoga. Tyaga is the stepping stone to become yogi. But yogi is what is required now. Jivan muktas are what is required now. Jivan muktas as teachers, Jivan muktas as engineers, Jivan muktas as doctors, Jivan muktas as volunteers, Jivan muktas as all our people in our organization. That is the need. So he is telling us about it here. So what another difference that I have to tell you about, this is very beautiful, is in whole life we have to do two things. One is tyaja and bhaja. Tyaja durjana samsargam, but that is not enough. Bhaja sadhu samagamam. If you don't detach yourself from the bad, your progress won't happen. But the moment you detach, you have to attach it to something else. Otherwise mind will again go back to the old things, old ways. Yogo bhavati dukkhada. Only when you establish yoga, your all sorrows will be destroyed. But to establish yoga, you must quickly attach your mind to the God, to divine principles. So the whole life is about tyaja and bhaja. So tyaga is tyaja part of it. Sannyasa is bhaja part of it. Tyaga is giving up the wrong attachments, and sannyasa is holding on to the right convictions and right attachments. That's how we must think of our whole life. So he is asking Arjuna asks Krishna, and what beautiful word he uses, Rishikesha, who has conquered all the senses, mind and everything. Oh Krishna, you are the best person. He says Mahabaho. This time Arjuna is addressing Krishna as Mahabaho. Mahabaho means very capable being, or long arms who can embrace everyone. So that is, so Tattvam Ichchami Veditam. Please tell me the ultimate principle of sannyasa and tyaga. This is how this chapter starts. And then Krishna, Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. When Bhagavan Uvacha, not nowhere in the Bhagavad Gita will say Sri Krishna Uvacha or Sri Vasudeva Uvacha. Never it says. Always it says Sri Bhagavan Uvacha. That's why somebody asked, how many shlokas did Sri Krishna speak in Bhagavad Gita? I said, not even one. Hey, you don't know Bhagavad Gita at all. Whole Bhagavad Gita is spoken by Sri Krishna. And I said, no, it's been spoken by Sri Bhagavan through Sri Krishna. Sri Krishna didn't speak. Bhagavan spoke through Sri Krishna. Bhagavan means, Bhaga means effulgence, illumination, which is the symbolism for knowledge, wisdom. So that wise consciousness spoke through Sri Krishna. So this is why Sri Bhagavan Uvacha, what he says, Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam kavayo viduhu sarva karma phalatyagam prahus tyagam vichakshanaha. Sri Krishna is saying, people, knowers of the truth or the wise ones, viduhu. What do they say? They say, Kamyanam karmanam nyasam sannyasam. Kavayo means wise people, those who know, viduhu, those who know things, they say. What do they say? Giving up the desire as the motivation for your actions. Because you want to fulfill a desire, therefore you are performing actions. Giving up that desire part of it, kamyanam, such actions which are born out of desires, is sannyasam. That's what he's saying. And sarva karma phalatyagam prahustyagam vichakshana. The other option is you have had a desire, you started on the action, but now you have a result which is coming out of the action, but you are giving up the results. That is tyaga. One is desireless action is sannyasa. Second is giving up the fruits of action is tyaga. This who says? Krishna says, wise people say. I'm not saying it. Wise people say that because Krishna's opinion will come later. He's saying what has been written in the scriptures, so people might have different definitions of sannyasa and tyaga. Shri Krishna is enlightening Arjuna that there are people who have their own understanding of what is sannyasa, what is tyaga. This is what they say. And then he says, tyajyam doshavadytyeke karma prahur manishinaha yajna dana tahpa karma nyatyajamiti chapare. Some more people are there, manishina, wise people, learned people. What they say? They say, tyajyam doshavadytyeke. Those actions where there are faults. What faults are that? It is not doing welfare of others. It is not done with pure intentions. It is selfish in its nature. All these things you calculate. If there is any fault in your action like this, these kind of tamasic, rajasic actions, then people say give it up. Give it up. Because one set of people say like that. But other set of people say yajna, dana, tapah. When you do these three karmas, remember last chapter is a yajnas we have to do, tapa you have to do, and dana. These things should never be given up. That is what they're saying. It means if there is fault also in this, you must continue performing because this is what you are supposed to do here. Whereas others say even if there is a little fault in any of these things, give up those actions. That is your tyaga. That is the definition of tyaga for them. So different people are saying different things. Some people give up, no? Oh, I am not able to do it well, I give up. And they say I have become a tyagi and a sannyasi. No, not true. You have given up for some other reason. Or sometimes others will tell you, please give up, don't sing anymore. You are torturing us. Some people give up singing because they think, I am not able to do it well, this is not my cup of tea, let me give up. And they don't become a singer at all. Some people, despite singing wrongly with apashrutis, they go on singing, then others have to tell, please, for the sake of the betterment of the world, peace in the world, stop. So both reasons are there. Give up the actions when you are not able to perform it correctly. But don't give up these three actions even if there is a fault in it. So different people have said different things is what Krishna is saying. But we want to know what Krishna thinks of sannyasa and tyaga, right? We are interested in the Supreme saying it because others might have their own interpretations. We want to know what Krishna says. Before that, know that there are many types of actions that we perform. As per our scriptures, there are nitya karmas. Nitya karmas mean daily duties, having your bath, brushing your teeth, eating your food, wearing your clothes. These are basic duties, or if you are a teacher, performing your duty as a teacher because you have been appointed as a teacher or a doctor or a volunteer. These are the things, these are your duties which have been given to you by virtue of what you are. So these are daily duties which everybody has to perform. That is one type. There is nothing special about it. Then there is naimittik karmas. Naimittik karmas are occasional karmas. Suddenly an exceptional karma that you have to do. Your father, for example, suddenly fell sick. Now you have to give up your office job on that day. Go and attend to your father. These are sudden occasional things. Or there is a sudden visit of somebody senior and you must attend to them and not attend to your regular duty. Or any other thing that you can think of where you have to do something which is not a part of your regular duties, but sometimes you have to do exceptional work, or occasionally something which is not a part of your duty. That is called naimittik karma. These are far and few. Then kamya karma, those actions which are born out of a desire. Why are you studying? Not because my duty is to study as a student. You don't consider your nitya karma. I am studying because I want to get a gold medal and then I'll become a big man, I'll get an employment, a good job and this and that. So kamya karmas. Same thing, nitya karmas can become kamya karmas. But please make sure that study should not become naimittik karmas. Only when warden comes and shouts, you start studying. It is your nitya karma only. You have to do it, discharge it as a part of your duty. But kamya karma means born out of some desire. Good or bad, whichever desire. Even a desire to build a hospital is a kamya karma only, as long as it is a desire. Nishiddha karma is also their fourth type, which is prohibited actions. Law does not permit you to do certain things. Hostel rules or community rules do not permit you to do certain things. These are all nishiddha karmas. You should not do it. If you do it, then you have to face the music. Prayashchit karma. After having done nishiddha karmas, comes prayashchit karmas, repentance. You made a mistake despite knowing it shouldn't be done, and now you have to repent for it. So that karma which is done to make up or repent for what wrong you did, that is called prayashchit karmas. We all do prayashchit karmas every day. Even if we pray to God saying, I want you to forgive me for the wrong that I have done. What are we chant, no? Vihitam avahitam va sarvame takshamasva jai jai karunabde Shri Mahadev Shambhu. In a way, it is a prayashchit karma. Because there is a desire associated with it, and it also knows that if some mistake had happened knowingly and unknowingly, it should be forgiven. So prayashchit karma. Then we have other types of prayashchit karmas. We go to various holy places and take a bath and think that all our sins will be washed away. Or we offer something to God and hope that with this small bribe that we are offering to the temple, He will take care of all our karmas. But all kinds of things people do. However, even Sri Rama, when he killed Ravana, he went to do prayashchit and to, that I have killed a Brahmana. Ravana was a Brahmin, though he was not behaving like a Brahmin, that's a different matter. But Sri Rama, being so virtuous, wanted to set an example that I shouldn't have killed a learned man. So he went and did. So even Rama did prayashchit for whatever karma. Because it was born out of a desire to get back Mother Sita and duty of a husband and things like that. So even God, when comes in human body, is bound by karma. But those karmas can fall in various categories. So that is the idea. Now once you know these categories, 5 categories, let us look at what Krishna ji thinks about karma, tyaga and sannyasa. He says, Nishchayam shrunu me tatra tyage bharatat sattama tyago hi purusha vyagra trividha samprakirtitaha. There are 3 kinds of tyaga. Nishchaya shrunu me tatra. Listen to me of my certain opinion, what I think of tyaga, sacrifice. What I think of as per my conviction, listen to it now. What is it? Trividaha, 3 types. You will say, always Krishna categorizes everything into 3 types. Good boys, bad boys, and okay boys, like that. Same, good girls, bad girls, and okay girls. This is how life is. Always it categorizes into 3 parts. So this is what the 3 parts. He says, even tyaga by itself is of 3 types. Remember last time he asked, tell me those who have Shraddha but they do not know scriptures, what is their fate? He says, first to learn there are 3 types of Shraddha. In Shraddha, if you have Sattvic Shraddha and you have not read the scriptures, it's okay. But you have Rajasi Shraddha and you have ignored the scriptures, not okay. You have Tamasic Shraddha, you have no respect for the scriptures, not okay. So that is the idea. 3 types of tyaga. He calls Arjuna by beautiful names. Bharata Sattama, best of the Bharatas, because he expects him, when you want the child to do some good thing, you are the best boy, I expect you to behave in this way. So already he's telling, see, I am telling you something and I expect you to behave accordingly. Best of the Bharata, son of Bharata. And Purusha Vagra, he says, you are the lion amongst all the men. Why? Because performing sacrifices requires courage. Giving up things requires courage. Snatching, holding on and preserving and saving, that does not require courage. To give up something that you are so attached to requires courage. To let go of it requires courage. So all Tyagis are great courageous people. Bhogis are not courageous. You think they are courageous because they fought a battle and won a kingdom and now they are enjoying the kingdom. No, they are not real courageous. If you had something in your control, yet you gave it up for the betterment, your betterment and societal betterment, that is courage. So that tyaga requires courage. The Purusha Vyagra Trividha Samprakirtitaha is being known as 3 kinds. Is declared by me. Who? Krishna is the authority now. He's not talking about scriptures, not the wise people, not the earlier people who have lived and said things. It is his personal opinion. So it's important. We listen to it. Yajna dana tapak karma na tyadyam karyam evatat yajno danam tapaschaiva pavanani manishinam. He also says yajna dana and tapa should not be given up. Even if there are certain faults in it, we are not able to do it well, learn to do it well, improve, but don't give it up. Many people say, I can't do it right, so let me give it up. Some people say, when I tell them, you should talk about idealism and good things to your younger generation and things like that. They sheepishly come and tell me, but I am myself not following it 100%. I feel guilty when I speak about it. So they don't want to come onto the stage or talk to their younger people. I said, who is perfect? Tell me. Unless you are Brahmaleen, you cannot be perfect. Some fault will be there in your every action, thought, word and action. Some fault, unless you are always operating from that Brahmasthiti. The moment you are a human, your mind takes charge, some fault will always be there. It can't be perfect. So don't expect too much out of you. And even if there is imperfection in you, know it within, but yet speak good things only outside so that you inspire other people. But speak humbly because you have not yet followed it. So please empathize with them and follow it. Yesterday somebody asked me, Swami, I made such big mistakes, yet you have accepted me. You did not abandon me, but my family abandoned me. If I committed this problem, sin or whatever, and you have still accepted me. I told him, see, you are, just now I'm teaching Bhagavad, Guna Gunesha Vartanta. Gunas are the one which drive us to do things, and these gunas we are bringing from other births also. It's not only this birth. I appreciate that idea. I appreciate and I empathize with you that sometimes it is out of your hand to behave in a certain way. So sometimes you cross the line. I understand that. But deep inside you are sattva, you are good. I see that also in you. I see the potential of improvement in you. I don't see the present condition. I see what you will be in the future. That's why I have love for you. That's why I can still be compassionate and forgiving. So that is, and more than that, I also know that it takes effort to overcome negativity is false. And everybody has to go through this process. I am not saying one is superior than the other. Somebody is little ahead, somebody is little behind. We are all on the same path. How can I not empathize with you when I myself have to go through all these things, having attained a body and a mind? So let us appreciate each other's situation. It makes us more compassionate and empathetic. When some people make mistakes, it may look like a mistake done in a jiffy or even on purpose. Let us develop a little more compassion and acceptance. That will transform them. Yesterday we saw Narayan Bhatt movie also. How he accepts the child who had come with a knife to stab his classmate over some small quarrel. But how Narayan Bhatt, instead of punishing and ridiculing and humiliating him in front of all, very kindly took him aside and explained to him the consequences of what will happen if you perform such an act. And that will come in one of the shlokas now. So keep that in mind. The consequence of what will happen, Purva Tapa should be there. Should be able to think. And that's how he consoled him and calmed him down. And the boy was so grateful because he thought he will get a good scolding and even ridicule, or be even removed from the class, but he was not. So he transforms. That is the idea of these people. So he says, Yajna, Dana, Tapa, Karma are your duties. You shouldn't give it up. Even if you are not able to perform it perfectly, strive to make it better every day, but don't give it up. Because Yajna, Dana, Tapaschaiva, Pavanani, Manisham, because these purify you. What kind of yajna will purify us? Sattvic yajnas, which you do for the sake of doing. That will purify us. Then what kind of dana will purify us? Which you give without thinking you are the giver. You share. That dana will purify us without any damba in it. And then tapa. What kind of tapas will purify us? That tapas which is done only for this self-improvement, not for showing off to anybody, or not by torturing and taking to the wrong routes of austerities. Just to purify one's mind. Selflessly what you do, that tapa you do. Don't give it up. Even if you are still rajasic or tamasic here and there, don't give it up, Krishna says. That is the first rule. Will we remember this? Let us not give up our pursuit in our lives. Let us not become diffident and weak-minded because we are not able to do things perfectly as Swami expects us to do. Even then, I would appreciate the effort that you put. I always tell, better to try and fail than not to try at all. Better to try and fail. Try your best. Pratno videyaha, our scriptures say, keep trying till you get it. So this is the great encouragement Krishna is giving. Yes, there might be faults, yet don't give up what you have got to do. Even if it falls, try to improve and continue. That is the first opinion Krishna says. And our Shankaracharya also says, Karmani chitti shuddhyartham. All the karmas should lead to purification of mind. But that is not sufficient. This is the first step to the ultimate truth. This is just the beginning. This is not the end. Once you start doing your actions perfectly, oh, I have become God. No, you're not. There's doership in it. All that will come next. So that Krishna says like that. So these people are those who do things for the sake of their own personal welfare. Atmano mokshartam jagadhitaya. But yajna, dana, tapa should not be given up. Yajna, duties. Dana, charity, which is beyond the call of duty. Tapa, spiritual austerities for the sake of one's own personal improvement. This cannot be given up. Then he says, Etanyapi tu karmani sangam tyaktva falani cha kartavyani me partha nishchitam matam muttamam. In these also, whatever yajna, dana, kripa, tapa you are doing, what should do it without any sangha, attachment. Sangam tyaktva. Give up attachment to that action and the result that arises from thereon. Action also should be given up. Attachment to the action also should be given up. Some people are there, they have got used to certain things. I tell them, this may not be good for you. You try another way of doing things. But they can't give up because they're so habituated. Creatures of habits. They don't want to give up. Somehow they want to believe that somehow they will manage with it. So he says, therefore, give up the sangha, attachment to the action itself, and phalanicha, and the results of the action. Do yajna, dana, tapa, even if you're doing it in a faulty way, continue to do, don't give up. Second, try to give up the attachment to those yajna, dana, tapa, and the fruit of the action. It means if I have not studied well, naturally I am not going to get great marks. Whatever marks come, accept it and be happy. Then you don't repent, then you don't cry. That is not right. Similarly, if you've done good efforts, you got good marks, everybody is praising you, don't get excited. That also you give up. Yajna, dana, tapa, kriya. All kriyas you perform without attachment to the action or to the phala. Kartavyaniti, because these are to be done. There is nothing special. I am not doing a favor to everybody by continuing to teach in the class well. Some people want reward and award for good teaching or good service. I sometimes give them for their little bit of, creating an example for others. But within their heart, they should not desire for any recognition or reward. They should do it because that's a part of your duty. Somebody acknowledges it, appreciates it, or does not. It doesn't matter to you. You are doing it because that is what you ought to do. That's your nature. Doing good is our very nature. Doing good is not some special service. It should be a part of you. That's what kartavyam iti. This has to be done. Therefore, it is my kartavya. It is my duty. And there is no special recognition I need for it. This attitude you perform yajna dana tapa. Krishna is saying. So beautiful, so kind and so understanding Krishna is. He tells us that give up attachment only and do it selflessly and do it as a part of your duty. Don't expect anything out of it, not even appreciation, recognition. That's why I tell me how easy it is to follow these principles of action in our institutions. Tell me. So easy. Because whatever you do, it's helping, as a charitable thing which is helping somebody in need. See, already your action is very beautiful action, which will lead you to moksha. In that, try not to get attached to your way of doing things. If something you're doing wrong, somebody gives you feedback, be open. Be open to change your ways, accept the feedback and improve yourself. Don't reject things like that. Then don't get attached to the results of the actions also. I am a great teacher, I am a great doctor, I am a great volunteer, I am a great devotee. I must be acknowledged. No, not required. This is what you're supposed to do here. You have to be a selfless servant and do your job perfectly to the best of your abilities. You should not be asking for anything in return for that. And this is so easy to do it here. Outside you can't do it. They get ahead in life. Sometimes our children outside are very humble and docile. Sometimes they are not speaking enough because they think Krishna said don't speak about, don't expect anything. Yes, that is true. But again, it's a desha kale cha patre cha. Remember your time, situation and whatever person you're dealing with and deal accordingly. If you have to tell, you have to tell. If you don't have, should not tell, you should not tell. Depends on what is your attitude in life. So look at the situations and do. Don't do without thinking properly. So these are the best ways of doing things, Krishna is saying. Then what does he say? Niyatasya tu sannyasah karmano no papadyate mohat tasya parityaga tamasah parikirtitaha. This time is starting with tamasic people and how do they do actions. Generally starts with rajasic, but I think we'll quickly associate or understand, so that's why he started with tamasic. And what does he say? Niyatasya tu sannyasah. What is to be done by them on a daily duty, they don't do it. These are the people. Niyatasya tu sannyasah. What is supposed to be done, they give up all that. Or the other way of looking at it is, they don't do their basic duties also, whatever is supposed to be done in the name of sannyasa. I am a sannyasi, therefore I have given up all these things. What you have given up? I don't come to office anymore. I don't work in any government or any service. So many people sit in their rooms. Why are you sitting in the room? Why are you not coming and doing service? No, I am a sannyasi. I have given up all the actions and desires and fruits. Have you given up food, lunch? Are you coming for lunch? Of course I am coming for lunch. These are those. Niyatasya tu sannyasa. What is to be done by them, they give it up in the name of becoming sannyasis. Karmano na upapadyate. But these actions should not be given up, but they give it up. And then what they do? Mohat tasya. Because of mohat, because of wrong understanding, delusion, and thinking that we are giving up because of this moha, they think they have to give it up. And parityaga, they do this renunciation or the sacrifice or the giving up of actions out of delusion. They are tamasaha. They are known as tamasa parikirtita. They are declared as tamasic. What happened to Arjuna when he came in the first chapter of battle? He gave up the action, no? And what did he say? Because of my action, so much destruction, damage will happen. I better beg and need. Why should I kill my own kith and kin? Why should I cause damage to my own clan? All these things. But was he doing it out of pure sattvic feelings, or was he saying this out of moha? Moha. So when Arjuna was giving up a duty which he was supposed to do as a warrior, as a warrior has to establish dharma, he was giving up his duty, he was performing tamasic way of tyaga. He was not really sacrificing for the betterment of everybody. He was sacrificing because he was overcome by delusion. not otherwise. So such tyaga is tamasic tyaga. Don't do that. Such sannyasa is tamasic sannyasa. Those are not real sannyasis. Then Krishna says, Dukkham ityeva yat karma kaya klesha bhayat tyajet. Sa kritva rajasam tyagam naivam tyaga phalam labet. There are others. Why they give up action is very difficult. It causes pain and suffering. It is a lot of effort. And I'm not sure whether I will succeed or not. I may not get enough marks, so give up studying altogether. Anyway, I think I'll fail either way if I studied. So give it up. They give up actions dukkham because the action is painful to do. It is sorrowful to do. It is a little difficult to do also. Yat karma kaya klesha, because their body will be put to suffering. The efforts are there. They have to sweat it out. So they don't want to take up the action. And bhayat, because of fear, that what fear? They may not be able to do it well, everybody will laugh at them, or they will not succeed and there will be a disappointment. So out of all these fears, they give up action and they say, I'm a sannyasi, I'm a tyagi. But they are not really giving up. They are giving up because they are afraid of results, or they are lazy. In a way, not lazy, but they are afraid of the difficulties that they will have to face. Many people give up doing good work, seva. Why? Difficulties will come. You start a good work, 10 people will come to stop you. That is the way it is. Shayamsi bahu vignani. Many difficulties come. Are we not facing difficulties every day? We are. Every day. Should we give up because it is difficult? No. We don't give up because that is leading to so much good to so many people. I always tell, look at the end result, what is happening at the end. Don't look at the process. Process is difficult. There are challenges. At the end, what it is doing, there are children getting educated. They will be good, noble citizens. There are people getting health. They will be able to contribute to their family, look after themselves. They won't be a burden. There are children who are getting fed. They'll grow up with strong individuals. They'll grow up as spiritual individuals. All this result is so beautiful. Effort is not a problem. So these people don't think there is an effort in this. That's why I always say, where there is shrama, there is no prema. Where there is prema, there is no shrama. Being in ashrama, you should not feel shrama in anything. If you feel it's an effort, it's a burden to do service here, to study, to go to office, to work, it means you are a Rajasi person. And then you give up things saying that I don't want to do it because this is difficult. Then you are a Rajasi person. Tyaga is Rajasic Tyaga only. It is not a Sattvic Tyaga. So he says, don't get into this kind of ideas of Tyaga. You may see people not working or giving up things or actions or fruits of actions, not because of Sattvic qualities, because of Rajasic also. Some people are there, they'll try something, they won't be able to achieve it halfway through. It's okay, you continue, you take the credit and you get your name. But truth is that they've messed up the whole thing and now they don't know which way to get out. Many times cooking is like that. Start cooking, halfway through you realize this is a big mess. Then, you want to call somebody and take help and don't mind sharing the credit. But you want to get out of the mess. Like that we do things wrongly and then we expect help and then we want to give up. But it appears as if we gave up because we are tyagis. Third type he says, Karyam ityeva yat karma niyatam kriyate arjuna sangam tyaktva phalam chaiva satyaga satviko mataha. What are the sattvic kind of tyagas? He says, Karyam ityeva yat karma. Whatever needs to be done, karyam. Remember, we have nitya karma or naimittik karmas, whatever our duties are there. We perform that because we are supposed to do those activities. We should not shy away or run away from that. Niyatam kriyate arjuna, whichever has been niyati. Niyati means prescribed. That is niyata karma or nitya karma is similar thing. So niyata karma, I am supposed to be a student, I must study, put my best effort. I am a doctor, I must treat patients with the best way. I am a teacher, I must do everything to help students come up. So that duty is to be done, therefore they do it. These are sattvic buddhi people. And sangam tyakta, yet they are not attached to it. Why are you doing like this? This is going wrong, do it another way. They are okay, they learn, they take feedback, they improve and grow from there. And phalam also, they don't expect the results out of it in terms of that they'll get appreciation. Of course, they expect that the student will do well and come up in life. But I as a teacher will get a lot of praise and recognition. That is not in their mind. They're doing because that's a part of their duty. I always give the example of sun. Sun shines, burns himself out for the sake of giving light to everybody. Somebody benefits from the light, somebody may even suffer. Somebody may have allergy, they suffer. Somebody may need vitamin D, they want sunlight. All kinds of people have different expectations from sun. But sun has no expectations from anybody. River flows, giving everybody life, water and everything. Some people bathe their cows and buffaloes and even wash their cars and dirty clothes. River has no problem. Somebody come and worship and do arghyam and dhanam. liver is not getting happier. So sattvic person's tyaga is like that. They do things for the sake of doing, because that is what they're born to do. There is no special anything about it. And no attachment to the way they are doing or what they're doing. Tomorrow if it has to change, I shift you from one department to another. I tell you go from this campus to another, or take up another job, not this. They have no problem. They say whatever is best for the institutions, I'm ready. I'm ready for it. I have no personal agenda. I will do service here only, in this way only, these many hours only. I will work with this team only. I will follow these rules only. They have no such idea, Sangam. They're okay with things. Because that's good for everybody. With that idea they work. And phalam also. They don't expect any results. So that is the tyaga which is sattvika. God expects perfection and tolerates excellence. That's what I tell all the time. So even if you're excellent at our work, you are not still matching the standard of God. Yet He is compassionate to keep us and allow us and continue. It means we should be the ones who should be humble. Keep rising together. That's very important. That is why I said these people are those who do their work. Ashtavakra says, it's a great inspirational quote from Ashtavakra. He says, Pravruttova nivruttova naivadhirasya durgraha yadayat kartu mayati tatkritva tishtati sukham. Those who are real jnanis, they have no problem with engaging or withdrawing from things. They have no problem with changing their workplace or people or team or whatever. They are okay. Because it's doing good for the country, good to the society, helping them evolve. They have no problem. Yadayat kartu mayati, whatever comes their way, they do it and they're happy only. They never complain, they never cry, they never demand. These are the people with less baggages, and they're very easy to work with. So they are good people, their tyaga is also very good, and we need such people. In fact, if everybody was living like this, we never needed a service organization like ours. I always say the best service you can do is do your duty properly. If every sweeper swept the hole properly, if every teacher taught the children properly, if every politician ruled the state properly, if every servant served the society properly, why we need a service organization? We could have been just spiritual organization then, because that is our job. But our case is different. I have to do both the role. Everybody here has to do both the roles. One, run these institutions, which is it's a huge organization that you are running. At the same time, also see to that spiritually people are evolving, so impart spiritual lessons also. See, I can't give up both.